Hi guys, my name is Brandy. Welcome to my kitchen and welcome to our channel, Sowing Back. Today is an exciting day. It's an exciting day, one, because I am going to show you how to make something really yummy and nutritious for your family, because I am making this as a surprise for my husband, who kind of gave me the idea by requesting, Odie, quit, by requesting that I try to make this because he has a problem. He has a real struggle, and his struggle is he loves the McGriddle at McDonald's. And so so today I'm calling this Who Needs McDonald's When You Can Make Your Own Sourdough Discard McGriddle. And I'm going to show you how to do it. It's really easy. You can make this ahead, like on the weekend, and then you can have it all packaged up so that you can send your loved one off to work during the week or to school, and they'll have a full belly. Your loved one to school and work, knowing that you've made some, or yourself, that you've made something good and nutritious for them, something that's healthy, that tastes good, but is not horrible for them. And so I'm going to show you how to do that today, because today, and the reason I'm doing it today, is because it is Johnny's birthday. And so he had a meeting he had to step out for, and I told him that when he returned, I was going to have a special thing for him. So he has no idea what this is. He just knows I'm making something. And he says, okay. And so what you need to do is you need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, okay? And if you do not have a sourdough starter, don't turn the video off, because I have a hack so you can still make something even if you don't have a sourdough starter, to make this just as gut healthy and just as nutritious, okay? But if you do have a lot of sourdough discard because you're working to build your starter with our little series we have going, then this is a great recipe for you, okay? So the first thing you need to do is you need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're gonna need 2 pounds of your favorite pork sausage, okay? Now, if you don't wanna do pork sausage, you could do just egg, you could do bacon and egg, it's up to you. But the McGriddle that they all love is a sausage McGriddle, and it is sausage. So I went ahead, I did make my nut patties. I buy it from the farmer, a local farmer, and it comes in like the little tubes. And so I just sliced them and made them like a patty. You could totally cook this on the stove, but it's a mess. I don't know why you would do it. It's so much easier to cook it in the oven. So I have my oven heating up. I'm going to put these, as soon as it finishes preheating, I'm going to put these in the oven, and I'll tell you how to cook these. You're going to cook them 350 for 10 minutes. You're going to flip them, and then you're going to cook them roughly another 6 to 10 minutes. You'll have to watch them based on your thickness, okay? And then you take them off, you put them on a towel to drain the excess fat out, and voila, your sausage is done, okay? So that's half of the project. The second half is the pancake. A McGriddle has a bottom pancake and a top pancake. That's all it is. So we're gonna make a very healthy pancake. So I have videos on how to do some differing in flavors. This one's gonna be more of a plain pancake, and I do use a sourdough starter. I have a lot of discard right now. So I'm actually doing a recipe and a half because I have that much discard. So, and that should make enough pancakes. It may make a few extra pancakes, which is great, because then you still have pancakes you can save and eat another day for breakfast that are totally good for you. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 1.5 cups of sourdough starter. If you do not have sourdough starter, don't leave. I will tell you the measurements, and I'll also put them in the description for how you can still make yours and make them healthy. So you're going to need 1.5 cups of sourdough starter. You're going to need 1.5 cups of, this is how you can make it still healthy, kefir, okay? Kefir. Instead of using milk, we're going to use kefir, okay? And I'm using a This one is a vanilla because the whole premise that mine love about the McGriddle is they love the sweetness of the pancake, but the savory saltiness of the sausage, okay? So if you don't want that vanilla, you want more of a plain pancake, you don't want that sweetness, then use a plain kefir. That's it. Now, if you're using a sourdough starter and you don't have kefir, use milk, okay? You'll be fine. You can use those interchangeably. Then you're gonna need 1.5 cups of flour, whatever your favorite flour is. I'm gonna be using a whole wheat mix. You're gonna need 3 eggs. You're gonna need 1.5 tablespoons of honey. Again, if you don't want it on the sweeter side, omit the honey. You don't have to have it. You're gonna need 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and you're gonna need 4.5 tablespoons of oil. I use coconut oil. It doesn't have an off-putting flavor in the baked good. So I'm gonna do 3 of these because this is a 1/2 cup measure, and I need 1.5 cups. All right. So I've got that. Put my lid back on there. We're good there. All right. Then I need, with my salt, I need 1, and then 1/2 of a teaspoon. All right, so I got that. Then I need baking soda. So I always have to look which one's the baking soda and what is this is my baking soda. All right. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon, and I just kind of break it up because it gets compacted. I'm just going to kind of, and then another 1/2. So 1.5, just like your salt. All right, so we got that. Now in some of my other videos when I do pancakes, we do more flavored, and so we might add cinnamon stuff. This is not one to add cinnamon with. Unless maybe you're doing a sweet sausage, then maybe you might want to try that, but I haven't tried it. All right, so I'm just going to kind of mix these dry ingredients up, like so. All right, so the next part that we're going to do, I got to get my eggs. So you need 3 eggs. Those right here. I'm going to go ahead and get the sourdough out of here. Alright, so I'm going to put my sourdough in next. I thought I had a spatula in there. Alright, hold on. I'm going to get a spatula because I want all that sourdough goodness. There we go. So this was the sourdough discard that I started and put a video up, and this week I'm videoing how to maintain it, showing you how to maintain it while you're growing it to be a strong starter, using a Cultures for Health packet of starter. It has been amazing, and I highly recommend it. And they have a big sale going on right now. If you're wanting to try to do this, a lot of times people will get more time off during the holidays, and they feel like they can get a sourdough starter going. All right, so I'm going to crack my eggs. I had to wash a bunch of my eggs because it rained a lot last week, and when my girls' feet get dirty from mud in the run, their eggs get dirty. So I couldn't sell any of those eggs to my customers because the customers I have, they like unwashed eggs, so they can put them on their counter. But that was okay. I had enough from the week before. They got their eggs for to cook with for Thanksgiving, so I was happy about that. So we're going to put in our 3 eggs. We are going to put in our 4 and a half tablespoons of oil. Again, I'm using coconut oil. Alright, and now that I did my oil, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of honey, because now it'll come out really easy. This is just some wildflower honey. Alright, I'm saving my orange honey I got from Azure for all the sweet Thanksgiving-y, pumpkin-y kind of things. Because that orange blossom honey is really good in that kind of stuff. Alright, so we've got this. Alright, so our next thing we have to do is we need 1.5 cups of kefir. Remember, if you're using a sourdough starter and you don't have kefir, you can totally use milk. However, if you have kefir and you're using a starter, you're just going to get even better benefits. Because if you remember from what I've been teaching you guys, kefir, it has the symbiotic relationship of probiotics to prebiotics. It and yogurt have it. That's why a lot of people who have a hard time with dairy can eat yogurts as long as they have the live cultures in them, and they can also tolerate kefir. And that's why, because it has both in it, and it helps digest the parts of the protein that a lot of people struggle with. So, now some people can't. And if you're one of those people, you should be able to do a lot of this with the different, I guess, nut milks and things, if that's what you use. I know there's some hemp milks. I've never tried that one, so I don't know what that's like, and I have to kind of be careful with most nut milks because I'm allergic. So, and then you have a beautiful pancake batter, and it's already popping with bubbles. And I'll bring the camera overhead in just a second so you can see the little bubbles are popping up because it's alive. It's alive. We're using the kefir. That's alive. Using that sourdough starter discard. That's alive. And it's really happy because I put some honey in there. So now all we're going to do is we're going to pop our sausage in the oven and get it going. And we're going to start making up the pancakes. So meet me over at the stove. Alright, so I got that going. I wanted to show you what the starter looks like up overhead so you can see the bubbles. You see those bubbles? They're popping up. If I take, let me take a spoon. Sorry. You should see. Do you see them popping up? I see some popping up. I hope you can see that on the camera. And that is, yeah, I see them popping. So this is going to make some fantastic pancakes. So what I have is my cast iron skillet. Sorry. I have my cast iron skillet right here. And I have it on medium-high heat. I'm going to put a little butter in the pan. You could totally do coconut oil if you don't do butter. And let it start melting. And when it gets ready, I'm going to start making some pancakes. And I like to use the little ice cream scoop so that they're kind of uniform. Because remember, you know, we want them to look like they came from Mickey D's, except not like they came from Mickey D's. They came from our kitchens, made with love, and they are good for your loved one I think, you know, I remember being a teacher, and one of the biggest issues we always had with our first graders were they had maybe like a muffin or some cereal before they got to school, and they were starving, and they were not prepared to learn because they really were hungry. And that's because most of those types of foods are not feeding our body what we really need. And so it's hard to go in and concentrate and do what is required of you. So when you send your kids to school or to work, you want to give them all the energy that they're going to need to make it to whenever they get to have lunch. And feeding them this way with real grains, and this is not grain I milled, this was actually Einkorn that I ordered off of Azure. This was actually not Jovial, this was the Azure one, and it was their whole wheat. I wanted to try, so this was not even one I milled. I just was kind of testing it out to see what I thought. So you kind of just waiting to see these little bubbles that will come up, and when you get enough bubble action, you'll know you're ready to flip your pancakes. And you just kind of keep them going. In this size pan, I typically can do 3. If it were warmer, I'd go out onto our flat top grill and I'd knock them out really quick out there. If you have one of those, that is a way to go. But this is going to be super easy, and then you're going to be able to put your sausage, make your sandwich, and of course you can have some to enjoy, but you can also pack some up, and you can either put them in the refrigerator or you can freeze them. It's kind of up to you. But one of the things I saw big time in my pantry challenge when I was meal planning was how important breakfasts were, and to have a plan. And if you have a plan for breakfast, you're most likely going to prepare yourself for your best day. You're also going to prepare yourself for saving your budget and not going through a drive-thru, or eating or feeding your kids something that is going to leave them wanting something else pretty quick after. And so there are ways to make things healthy and yummy. And so you saw I just got those flipped over, and I'll wait just a little bit and then I'll keep going, and I just run the assembly line until I get them done. And that's how easy this breakfast is. That's it. I'm going to flip some sausage over when the timer beeps, put them back in the oven, and I'm going to make all these pancakes up, and then I'm going to put them together, and voila, I have breakfast done for my family. So, and if you wanted to do a big batch, you could totally double, triple, however you want to do the recipe. It's done. That's how easy it is. And so I did, for my 2 pounds of sausage, I got 10 sausage patties, and plenty for the bottoms and tops of your McGriddle. And John's gonna come taste it for me. It's very hot. Don't burn yourself, because it is hot. I can see the smoke coming off of it. And he doesn't usually like piping hot food anyway.
That's pretty good.
Is it good? Mm-hmm. Would you like that better than going through the drive-thru?
As long as it's already made, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I had that made, you would do that instead of going through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
So it tastes pretty good. Is it pretty close, or you wish it was a little sweeter on the pancake?
No, the pancakes are fine. I think this is a little less spicy than theirs.
I used a mild sausage. I did not use a hot
That's
sausage.
fine. I could put something on it if I want it that bad.
So you're happy with it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, if you found value in this, we appreciate a thumbs up. If you're liking our content, please subscribe to the channel. If you know someone who might enjoy it, we'd appreciate if you'd share our video. And now you have a new recipe to put in your tool belt for using that sourdough starter. And if you don't have the sourdough starter, remember you can totally just use the kefir to still give you that good gut health stuff. And I will put the information for making it with sourdough starter and without in the description. And so with that, I hope you have a great one, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.